Hey, you.
Okay. So Clifford, you can share on your Facebook and you can share in the video chat room. I already share you on Facebook. We are live now on Facebook.
Okay, all right. Anyway, channel I get money there. My whatever up there. They want to go buy data. You put it in your phone. 20 they don't have money. Can't find put it on your phone. Google.
Because what people like get okay outbreak, yeah?
Hey, come on. I'll be out.
You give me a chance. I try to share in the meeting place, but I didn't know what's going on. Okay, yeah, give me 1 minute. Let me share in the video chat room with John. Just give me 1 minute. Let me share it.
Eh, le bref, c'est les you too far. Ah, you too far. I enjoy you.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your compliments.
You turn so young and young and young.
I tell you, right?
I know.
I saw the debate already started.
I know, eh?
Yeah, they go.
Ah,
We got a far way to go.
I know. We're very far away because
Yeah.
people will not still understand if you're trying to say it, they feel that you are insulting them.
Yeah.
But that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Refugee is no different from any other county in Liberia. And
Yeah.
women are always given, they are accorded the opportunity to serve in public places, whatever refugee county.
It's a matter of education.
Yeah,
You,
a lot need to be done.
yeah, people need to, people shouldn't wait for elections before talking to them. It's like the
Right,
education needs to go on before any elections activities. By then, they would have known already.
right. You're right.
Yeah. I don't know about how they act back home, but here, oh my God. Yeah, you saw the example already. So,
Yeah, you go there extremely well.
sure.
Okay, I think we have people following on now. So, okay, Clifford, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we want to say welcome to all of you tonight. We want to say welcome to another podcast of our edition on the Refugee Citizen Dialogue Forum. Today we have with us Madam Gertrude Domo William, former representative aspiring of Refugee County District Number 1, and Madam Alice Welly Wilson, former
Mamba?
president of the Momba, former president of the Refugee Citizen Association in America.
Refugee
Recent.
County Association.
Okay, Refugee County Association in America. So tonight we have My co-host, Mr. Clifford Mann, is here with us, and we hope to have Mr. Jobo, who will soon be joining us on this podcast. Tonight, we will be discussing the issue of women leadership and participation in women leadership and participation in the body politic of our country. So basically, we have with us Madam William, who is a former aspirant and who have experience on the refugee politics. So she will be sharing with us her perspective, challenges, and way forward. So I would like to welcome all of you, and we'll begin with Madam William to give a little brief summary of yourself, where you come from, your name, where you come from, who you are, just in 2 or 3 minutes before we can continue with the program.
All right. Thank you very, very much. I want to say thank you to the listening audience and then thank you to the platform for according me the opportunity to be a part of this show tonight. I am so glad. I am Gertrude Jagaju Domo Williams. People come out and know me to be Gertrude Tia. Yes, because it's a long story. We came from Padivo, but my father was reared in Tiempo, so people know me to be somebody from Tiempo. I am a daughter of River G from Jiploken, from the Clevo family, and also a lady in politics.
Okay, thanks so much. Mana Wize, just one
Okay,
minute.
thank you. My name is Alice Welly Wilson Marba. I come from River G County, Potupo, Jiploken. Um, I don't know why you got two Potupo children over here. So it's a coincidence. But
It's a
anyway,
coincidence, but it's good though. It's good.
yeah, exactly. And so I am a community advocate, community leader, and a humanitarian. And so I'm glad to be on a platform tonight. It is a pleasure talking about a topic in question. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much. I not much to say.
Fresh
We
go.
will begin with the issue of women participation in the country has been a major challenge. And we observe that in the Refugee Legislative Caucus, we do not have any female. Even though in 2017, we have 3 female, if I'm not mistaken, that contested in the legislative election. Okay, six. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
six that
It was
contested, but
2011.
none of them came out victorious in this process. Madam Williams is one of those who contested in the 2017 election. She also contested 2017 election and 2011 and 2017. So we think that women participation and leadership in our country is very important because we know that women play a very key role in development. And many of the great things happening around the world, many of the negotiations taking place around the world are being pushed by females, by women, because they are very persuasive and know how to negotiate and know how to get things done. So we think that Refugee as a new county need the contribution of all our sisters, our mothers, whoever, to join into the developmental process of our country. But we feel there's challenges in the county, and in order to overcome these challenges, we got to keep talking about them and keep updating, informing our people as what we can do as a country. So basically, this show is all about you, our guests, sharing with us your experience and what you think can be done in order to promote women leadership, not just leadership, but education, innovation, self-independence, and whatever that we think is meaningful to our country. So we'll start with Madam William for opening statement to tell us or the experience, what motivated you, what infused you, for which you decided to contest in the county and in the district?
Thank you very much. If you look at the word empowerment, it's the process of supporting another person or persons in gaining a political power. One of the things is, I was born in River G County, precisely Bwebo-Kawiken, where I grew up, and I knew the kind of treatment that women underwent at my age at the time. Looking at women being suppressed, and some, like me, we try our best to go to school, and after that, we decide to come and obtain higher learning. So looking at the process of, I mean, everybody have their place of careers. Others want to be medical doctor, other people want to be a lawyer, and other people want to have different disciplines. And I want to be a politician. I choose that side. So I decided to join the race to ensure that women rights and functions be on the platform of River G, because we always been suppressed with the issue of tradition. And the issue of tradition, our people, and even the young people, including women in River G County, look at the weight of tradition in a different perspective. And that of which, I mean, in the 2011 election when I contested, to be precise, we had the then incumbent Honorable Elijah CA, where he was contesting for the second term. And in that process, to be precise, in the Temple Statutory District, wherein, I mean, it was because, why would this woman want to contest? If we want to discuss issue as men, will she be around as a lawmaker? She will not be around because she's a female. And I don't know how they already taking it, because our people who are the traditional people, when I say traditional, I'm talking about internal affairs. They go other counties to go for workshop. And at times they will meet a female conducting that workshop for them, telling them the functions of, I mean, a public positions that they find themselves in. So why is it they can't say that this person is a female, so they not need to talk to me. But when it comes to River G County, they want to suppress us as their daughters. 2005, Reginald contested. She was the only female. 2011, 3 female contested. District number 3, 2 female. District number 1, 1. District number 2, none. 2017, 6 female contested. 1 in district number 3, 3 in district number 2, 2 in district number 1. And it was a serious challenge for us women, that because of culture and tradition, that woman can be. And I don't know whether from the chapter 1 of the Liberian Constitution to chapter 13, whether they saw anything of such that women should not participate in issue of national concern that affect them. So I just want to inform us all as River GN and women in politics, and even women that are following this platform, that some of us, we are not personal as you think, that women, like, if you don't say this thing, because some of them, if you are not supporting the candidate, they keep grudge for you, and it's not supposed to be like that. First thing you should understand is, in politics, you don't have a best friend, you know, a worst enemy. Reason being, they both of you are aiming for the same goal, and just one person is supposed to be victorious. So these are things. You will send him messages. Okay, take for example, Honorable Alexander Paul won the election. So should I keep malice for him? No, never. If he sees me, he call me big sister, and I will call him, oh, Honorable, you are welcome. And we're moving forward. We communicate. The only left, I mean, just the difference is because you need the thing and the person need the same thing. So people should not have that negative notion of people that they want to be boastful, they are educated, and the other, they are not educated. Or woman that is not educated have voice. They talk things that make sense more than somebody that even is educated. So you take out the non and make the sense. But the issue here is the people of River G, the young people, the women and the men, I mean, there is no unity among us. This is one of the things that is lacking, because it's not you, so it can be me. And we should not live that everybody will not go in the House of Legislature. You have your own career, this person has a career. All we need to do is to push the agenda. We go to other countries, we speak on women issues, we speak on women rights, women empowerment. Why is it that when it comes to River G, it's a different ball game? I submit.
Okay, so thanks so much, Madam William, for your introductory statement. We will come back to you to get more information as relate to your experience and the way forward. So we would like to get 1 or 2 words from Madam Wilson. Madam Wilson, what do you make of women leadership in a county? What have been your experience? You being president for the Refugee associations in America. I think you can share with us your experience. What do you make of women leadership?
Thank you very much, Raf. Women leadership has been one of the biggest challenges that we all face, whether it's in Liberia or it's in the United States. Women representation is so little. I give you an example. In a U.S. House of Senate, you have 26 women as senators. And then you have 74 men. And even of the 26 women, you have 17 women from the Democratic Party, and you have 9 women from the Republican Party. So now you can see the Republican Party is more traditional. So it goes back, it's like, okay, you compare that to our culture that thinks women supposed to be taking care of the home, women supposed to take care of the kids, her duty is to be glamorous for her husband and stay at home, to support the husband. But the issue is women got a lot of potential that get lost in between because of the tradition. And it all begins when we are little. The stereotyping of women. People consider women to be the weaker sex. And so when you even have a little brother growing up, the toys are all different. You have
Yes.
You have women playing with different toys, and you have men playing with different toys. The same thing in the United States is the same thing back home. So you were growing up, you have something like a rubber gun, and the girls will have to have something like a baby to play with. So in essence, they are telling you that you are not supposed to be in school. Growing up, there were people that were saying, well, why? She's a woman. Why would she want to be going to school? So a lot of girls fell along the side because they didn't have the support, the moral support needed to continue learning. And even with the challenges facing girls in school, it's a whole bunch of things going on at the same time when you're trying to stay focused. The society is a challenge. And so all the different things put together tend to pull women back in their sojourn naturally. So I'm saying this to say that the opportunities that women need, if they are given those opportunities, they will be able to change the society. River G, since the county was founded, there has been a lot of men participating, but you have not seen women actually taking a leeway. I think I heard about one Esther Dixon. I think during some special election or whatever went on, and she was in the house at that time. I think it was right after the war. But
the transition time.
Exactly, transitional time. So since then, there has been no woman Now, when I came to the United States, we had an organization, River G County Association, that was founded in 2001. From 2001 to 2014, there had been no woman leadership. It's all men. So 2014, I decided to take the challenge. And the reaction from some people was over the top. Because we got three, I can tell you from experience, there are three kinds of support from men. There are a group of men there, they are like, no, 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 I cannot stay under woman leadership. I cannot.
Great.
I mean, there's nothing they will listen to. You are nobody, you are just a woman, and they are superior, and so they're not going to listen to you. Then there are other men there, they want to support you, but you will sit in a car seat, but they will be on the wheel driving a car. So if you like it like that, they're going to support you, but they will make all the decisions. They will tell you what to do, like you don't know what you need to be doing. So if you can't do that, you're not going to get a support, or you will get a partial support, and then the next thing they will be gone. Like she doesn't listen. This will be the charges. Then they got other group of men there that they are not intimidated by women. They are very supportive. They want to make sure they are happy that a woman is, making headways, that a woman has a potential, and they want to push you up. Maybe they got sisters, or they got daughters, or they got just some role models that they want to push you to become. So they are genuine people that want to see the best out of you. So those are the kind of three supports from my personal experience I can talk about. So the issue of women, we still got a long way to go. Now, the kind of reaction you get from people that is very, very negative, some women cannot stand that. And that's why you see a lot of women, our traditional women, they will not participate because of the harsh approach coming from some men. You have to be like a shark to swim in the ocean with sharks. If you don't behave the way they behave, you cannot navigate. So because they will come on you hard. Even I was surprised with a platform during the election time. I was being like, people were sending me text messages, inbox, threatening me. How they gonna put my picture up? How they gonna do this? And I'm like, do you know who you're talking to? I cannot be intimidated by you. So forget it. So these are a lot of things that happen that make a lot of women don't want to participate.
Okay.
So we got a long way to go, I can say.
Okay, Madam President, thanks for that stuff. Like get to Madam William. Madam William, specifically, we would like you to share with us your experience. You went into the race believing that you have the qualification, you were qualified, that you could have the support, your education background, you were prepared, you went to school, you had everything, and you think that you could meaningfully contribute to the county by representing them and making decisions that could better the life of our people. You got into the race. What was your experience in a race, and how, which treatment, what was it, what are the reactions that you got from people, and how were you able to deal with some of these reactions, some of these traditional barriers that you just mentioned earlier?
Thank you very much. One of the things is the challenge is finance. It's one of the experience, yeah. And what I've noticed is if you don't have the money, they will not just look your way. They will feel that you don't have money. But one of the major one was she's a female. And I don't know why they really classify the name female. That's one of the things. So because I am a female, so I don't have voice. I can speak to people. I can talk for you. It was one of the things. I mean, The experiences was huge. There were a lot of things. There are other places that we went, as I said to you, let me make mention of our town. There's a place wherein from the Temple Bill were like 5 persons that left from Temple that were contesting in 2011. Let me start with the 2011 issue. In 2011, the information came out that Mana Williams is contesting. She's a female. No, we can't allow women to come here. We can't allow women to come here. Surprisingly, I just came from Morovia and I entered in River G. I got this phone call, a strange call. They said at the time were like 2 weeks to voting day. The people called me, they said we in Queen. There's a town they call Queen. They said we are here and everybody here. When are you not here? So you need to come because the people of Temple want to make a decision. I was there. What decision? So I had to go on back. A deplorable role, I had to go on back. When I got there, it was only me. There was no other candidate at the time that were contesting but me. And the decision they were about to make was just me. So we entered the Palaba Hall. This is where I spoke on the radio, Radio G, that others take it differently. And you know, as I said to people, if you read sociology, you will understand the differences between culture, tradition, and society. So when I went there were 18 men that was seeking the re-election of Honorable Elijah Sear then. And they lay out reasons why is it that Elijah Sear should be re-elected and why is it I shouldn't be elected as a lawmaker. And besides that, I am a female in my face. So the first reason was Elijah Sear, I mean, the CAFO they got out, the Temple Statutory District got
is divided into two. They have CAFO and Nani.
Into two. They got the CAFO and Nani. So the CAFO has a police station. CAFO has a commissioner house. CAFO has a clinic, and Nani don't have anything. And Elijah Sear is from Nani. So if the son is re-elected, it will be a good thing because everything can go to CAFO. So it was right in the village square in the town hall. Men and women and children were present, and they said, "Bati or Bati." Anybody that vote for Jagaju will find you cow. I said, no, this will not happen. You are imposing sanction on a group of people to vote for a particular person. It's undemocratic. Wow. So I went to a network area, got a network, and I was able to go on Radio G that the election of district number 1, particularly in the Temple Statutory District, will not be free and fair and transparent because our people are using the means of tradition to impose sanction on people. And it's undemocratic. The other speaker or they say, I put my more on the fatality. So they are going to use the country flag to farm me, and I will not go to any other town to campaign. So it raises concern to civil society. That's how they were able to trace me. They got me to a network area. They came to me. I explained what happened. They said, but the people are misinterpreting you. They said, you said that. I said, no. I was born right here in Bepokawiki. I grew up here. I got my generation here, and I know much about our norms. I can never flip where I can't reach. I can never do that. What they did was squarely a tradition that they imposed sanction on people. It was never a society. There was no fatality in the town. Men and women were at the village square. So civil society gave me 1 or 2 persons to accompany me in other towns and villages. That's how I was able to dispel the rumors of what they thought of me. Even at that, I didn't win an election. Honorable Johnson Chia won the elections. In 2017, the same old story began. I voted in Temple Krakri, place that is about 6 hours walk. That's where I voted. The same thing happened right in Krakri. That I had a football team they called Jagaju FC, even in Krakri. They told the children never to vote for me if Honorable Alexander Paul get less vote, and any number that I get in any other places, more than Honorable Alexander Paul, the traditional people will come on the people and they will find our town. So I was like, wow. And there is nowhere that you could get internet or phone call to make a phone call and tell the people what was unfolding. Under that stress. So I forgot everything. I said, but I can't do anything now. We are at the 11th hour. Whatever happens, I will go to Monrovia. I start my life. And it doesn't mean that because I enter in politics, so all is gone. No. And the hate messages started coming from all over. She did, she died, she woman. She doesn't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to really classify these things that you don't know how to talk to people. I don't know the definition of talking to people. Some of us, we are classroom teachers. We don't know how to talk slow. And subject that I've been teaching is not subject that you'll be teaching and say, Library of Phone 1822, this, that. You will not say it that way. That Library have first and general presidential election on the 27th of September 1847 with two political parties, the pro-administration party and the anti-administration. You have to talk with zeal and straight to the point that the students will comprehend. So I will not be the person to talk the way you want me to talk. And not because I'm talking the way I'm talking, so I should insult you, never. But because of, others would think that way, that she doesn't know how to talk to people. She don't speak, they will even use a general English. Some of the women that want to contest, they don't speak to people. It's myth, it's false, it's misleading. And even if you said that this lady went on Radio G and spoke on issues or insulted women, just play the clip. We live now. Let people play the clip. Let people understand that this person did this thing.
Okay.
Well, they will just, So, these are challenges we underwent. And it's not only me. Other women in other districts that were contesting experience the same old thing, that she's a woman. If XYZ is about to happen, will she be able to she'll be present? It's not like that. If you go to, Maryland County produced senator before. Grand Creek County had a superintendent. Bapodu County, Mike Gibby, senator. River says representative. You come to Nima County superintendents. Females are contested. Got the positions more than 2 times. They produce those people. You come to Monserrado County West. If you go to Lofa, the same thing. If you go to Cape Mount, the same thing. Why River G County will want to always suppress women? So it's a strong issue that we all need to, as my colleague has said, we do not need to await elections before we have we will find, I think we need to find a time now where we'll open a chat room for women in politics in River G. Just for women.
Exactly.
We will agree to disagree. We will agree to disagree, and at the same time, it will be, one goal. We will go out there to inform the women, to tell them their functions, their rights, so they can understand. Because some of them want to enter in politics, but they are shy because they're seeing abuses from men and both women. Our women who call themselves cheerleaders, some of them are being abused by those male. When they have money, some of them will sleep with them. It's not only refugee. They will sleep with them and use that medium to abuse you, to suppress you as a candidate that contesting at that time. But the person aim is to win the elections and let you go. We know some of them, we could call names that were in those kind of practices. And at the end result, the person don't even look at them again. You can't abuse, you can't have your own rights and functions at a time to abuse yourself just for a little period of time because of elections. We have to post up to this thing and say, no, it's no, my functions, my rights is about woman.
Okay, Madam William, thanks so much for sharing with all your experience. This is something that we have to talk about, and I agree with you that it is important that the women of River G wake up and try to organize a group. I think there should be a serious awareness in the county. We need to educate our people. We have to advocate and lead a serious campaign for people to see women in a very positive direction than always seeing women in that way. So, Madam Wilson, you live in River G before you went to the US, before becoming president of the River G Association in the US. You live in River G, you live in Monrovia. What is your experience? What have been your experience in the country? What do you think of women education, women involvement, like having your daughter to go to school? For me, I can remember that my sister could not go to school because my mom was always like, "You have to be to the house and do some homework, and he has to go and go to school because it's a bill." Do you also experience that when you were in the county?
Well, actually, my dad was the one that went to school, and my mother never went to school.
And what
But
was the reason?
huh?
What was the reason why your dad was the only person that went to school and your mom didn't go to school?
Well, I think my mom started school, and then at her age or during that time, she had to be married. Girls were not really focused on school. But my dad went to school. But the funny thing is, my dad who went to school were more like girls supposed to be married to get a respect that they need. And
Okay.
so he was not really like pushing when it comes to me going to school.
Okay.
But my mother, ironically, was the one that was, like pushing me
Yeah.
to go to school as opposed to being married. Now, growing up in River G was a challenge. There were a whole bunch of things that were going on. And if you were not really, really studying to make good grades, you will be victimized by even the very people that are teaching you.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to really, really study because I knew that if I didn't go to school, um, life wouldn't be better. So it was something that I had to do. And then when I look at the condition, like the farming, there was no company for anybody to work for. You know, I couldn't really do the farming. That was something I couldn't just do. So I'm like, okay, I would rather study to make better grade, at least to be educated, than to sit and say, well, I don't want to go to school. So, and I don't want to not make good grades for some teacher to say, well, they want to give me free grade because they're looking for a woman. I couldn't sell my body for that. That's one thing I swear to God I was never going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was this challenge that I had to face. And there were other good girls, very smart girls that I went to school with that could have been, very, very, bright in other places that couldn't do that. Or maybe they were educated. I mean, they could be educated. They were smart enough to be educated, but they didn't have the kind of um, resolution that I had. Some of them didn't have that kind of resolution to say, well, I'm going to study no matter what. I'm not going to be fooled by anybody. I have to go straight and learn, not even teacher. If it is somebody else's, it will make sense. But somebody who is teaching you, who's supposed to know that you are smart, who's supposed to be pushing you, if they are the one want to violate you, then it is not in good faith. So those are challenges that when you're growing up in River G, you have to navigate. And like I
Mm.
said, the only way you can be successful is for you to study hard. That's the only way it's possible. So come down in the US, the leadership issue we're talking about, another problem we have as potential leaders is some of the women are unfortunately supportive of men than other women. And not
Mm-hmm.
because it's not because you're not qualified. I don't know. But for them, even if they know you're doing a better job, if the guys cannot get hold of you and they know, well, no matter what they do, you're still doing what you're doing, they will go through other girls because people will be
Yeah.
wondering, why are
Yeah.
you forcing with this girl? Why are you forcing with this lady when she's doing a better job? So they will go through other ladies to try to undermine you. And I had a big experience. When I took over, I managed to bring in a lot of girls, a lot of ladies that I felt like women need to participate. You can't tell me an organization that started 2001 will not have any female in leadership. Not that we don't have women in the organization, but nobody, want to take the initiative. It can't just be going to organization meeting, having fun and dancing and whatever, dress nicely, and every day some man sitting down as the president. That cannot work because we have to represent ourselves. So through this, a lot of girls were brought in the organization and everything was going fine. So some of these people, like I told you, that they are not a fan of women. They don't want to see women in leadership. And so if they try, they get to the other ladies that you're trying to bring around and corrupt their minds. And even if they know that you tell them this is a phone, the guy will tell them that's not a phone, that's a sponge. And they will rather believe the guy over you because he's a guy. So as women that don't have confidence in other women, that creates more problem for women that are in leadership. But if women all band together and create a unified force, we will be able to overcome some of the difficulties that we have. And like I told Miss Dumo Williams, it has to be an educational. We have to continue to educate people. We are not going to be waiting for elections before we show up in a county to tell people that it is important to have women in strategic places. We're talking about every day. River G doesn't have a development. This is going on. We got projects that are finishing because government are giving money. Well, put women in the leadership positions. They will find money to complete the projects. You have to know how to reach out to people. You have to know how to talk to people. Women, for most part, can manage. Women, for the most part, will be able to do what they say they're going to do. Unlike some men that will just want to be there because they want to have the name. So if you elect men that are not doing anything, then why don't try women and see whether they will make a difference? So we have to reconsider our decisions, especially when it comes to culture, to say, well, women cannot do this. 2008 or 2009, the organization sent for Kaku Sampson. And during deliberation, I asked him, so when are you going to have a woman as superintendent? And it seems to be a big taboo. He was like, woman superintendent? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm like, why? What is so special that a woman cannot do? But then it all embedded into tradition. He was like, no, when our traditional people sit down, how can a woman be this? How can a woman? But if other people, Lofa County is highly traditional.
When either Congro where you serve as superintendent for Nima County,
they have tradition.
They have a tradition, a very good
even
one.
In Lofa County, they got Woma Town Chief. I saw that on
in Grand Creek County, Woma was a superintendent.
Town Chief. So we need to do away with all these things. And where does it start? From the young people. We understand the old generation, that's what they practice over time. But who's supposed to bring the transformation? It's the young people. But if you sit down and follow the people who you're supposed to explain to and say, well, things have changed. If you want to see River G move forward, you have to make certain strategic changes. But if you're not doing it and still want to be on the same route, then we are not going anywhere. We'll be turning in a cycle. 100 years from now, River G will be the same way. So we have to take a different approach when it comes to women in leadership in River G County.
Okay. Thanks, Madam President. Now we are identified, we have shared the experience, your experience, Madam Williams' experience. She participated in the election. Now we have the local leadership in the county, beginning from the county superintendents to development superintendents, commissions, what is your experience? We do not have any woman representation at the local level. Why
Okay.
you think is responsible for lack of women representations in the county as well?
Can I come here a bit?
Appointed positions as well in the county. Yes, the question goes to both of you.
Okay, the first thing is Phoebe Botte served as statutory district superintendent for Weibo Statutory District. It was a serious struggle for the people to accept that she was a female. Peace be to Arches. Mother Martha Jabo served as city mayor for Fishtown. It was another challenge. The challenges will always be there until they can see a male, fully taking position of that job. That's the only way they can be at peace. But in as much as a female, it will always be the same old age problem. I don't know. I still not understand why is it that it have to be this way. It's a serious challenge. We really need to get together as women, and then in backing up with the young people, to make sure that these things stop. I'm disdain to even see some female that call themselves women in politics from River G County will want to say things, negative things about other women, whereas somebody is not even thinking their direction. So that's a perfect example for you to know that they are not even thinking of woman. A woman is not even thinking of a woman to be in leadership.
Madam, why you think
Well,
you're responsible in the local leadership?
so first of all, like she said before, I don't have permanent friendship when it comes to politics. If I go to River G and I want any position, if I'm not qualified, don't vote for me. It can be a woman or a man. If you're not qualified, I'm not going to vote for you. But if a woman is qualified and a man is not qualified, do not push the woman aside because you want a male. That is wrong. You give people positions per qualifications. There are some men that are not doing better jobs. That woman could do a better job. But you can't keep denying the woman because you want all males. This is something we need to look at carefully. And
They
I
use
think
cash violence.
and I think the way we can do it is we have to be consistent. So if you have female, for example, female city mayor, and nobody want to respect her, well, let her continue to appoint female city mayors. And sooner or later, they will get tired. They will get tired and be receptive. That's the only way we will get over having a female in the county in positions. Because the county is for everybody. Why do we go to school if we can't have jobs in the county? Women can do better. Anything that men can do, women can do better. So I think the opportunities
Absolutely,
should be
absolutely.
given to
It's not
men.
joke about it.
The
Yes.
opportunity should be given to women that have the qualification to do the job. I'm not saying because I'm gonna be really mad if somebody said, well, just for gender balance, that just put this woman here. That means you're insulting the woman.
No.
We got a lot of
Yeah.
potential over you women. We got
You
great
don't vote out of sympathy.
educated women, smart people that can do the job. And so when you're making your decision, it should be based on what the person can do and not because they are female.
Okay. So I like talking about women, girls' education. Madam Wisdom, you talk about your experience when you were going to school, your dad had problem with you, and it was your mom who had all the motivation for you going to school. Because even though you didn't go to school, but I believe that because she was disadvantaged, she didn't want you to become disadvantaged as well. So she was pushing you to become more so that you could be the person she wanted you to be. But there are other people who lack such motivation that could not be encouraged, that were not fortunate as you are. So let's talk about female education in the country, girls' education. What do you make of girls' education currently in the country? Do you think the issue of women being educated, girls being educated and be given opportunity for them to pursue their dream, do you think is something that is working currently in the country?
Well, you talking to me or you want her to come?
Yeah, two of you can. Any of
Okay.
you
Okay,
can
like,
speak.
can we come in?
Okay.
Okay.
For girls' education in the county, I would say no. It's still not, improving. Even with the male, it's the same old thing. I will do a case study in other places that I visited, and I saw how, the girl child supposed to go to school. They will tell you that go and we planting, that we planting rice, you have to go and go help on the farm. They will suppress that child, the child will be crying, and she had to go on the farm. So it's a conventional thing. They just have that mindset that a girl child not supposed to learn, the boy child supposed to go to school. And even the places the boys children supposed to go to school. Because of, one of the ills in River G County is a mining issue. Since they
Mm-hmm.
started digging gold in River G County, how many of our boys and girls willing to just sit in classroom and at the same time at a young age to finish with high school? I stand to be corrected. You can't even get the percentage of 3 unless for now in Fishtown and Kawieke, wherein the parents try to ensure that the girl child and the boys they go to school so that they can obtain higher learning in time to come. But when you get in those bushes, you go Juwike, you go Temple, you go other places where they're mining, the various schools, campuses empty. The only way you see some of those teachers, they even take the time to say they're going on chalkboard when they notice that the moon is at the verge of ending. That's when they will leave.
For salary.
And when they know that the
Mm.
helicopter is around to go and take pay. You wouldn't want a salary and you don't want to impart knowledge. You are the paying knowledge. You're supposed to be available every day. Because of that, I used to live from here. When I go to Weibo Central, I will volunteer myself to help from 10th grade to 12th grade to tutor those students. But every time I leave to go to River G County, I will always go in the classroom to go and help. Through the principal agree, yes, help the person, and I will be in the classroom. It's so sad that
Okay.
all the classes you just see the place will be empty and everybody going to go fee. When you go talking, they say, the shower can give you money. Why the profit in digging gold? No profit. Right now, if your excavator come here and dig the place, the money law says if you remove the dike, he had to replace it. If you don't do that, in 20 years before you get good soil from that place to reap anything from there. But they don't want to burn a few lands, mass, and energy. They don't have, good agents on the field there. They will just leave those pits, and at the end result, the whole place is just upside down. So that's it. That's one of the
Okay.
issue.
So basically,
Okay, Madam President.
yes, sir.
Yes, you can come in.
Okay, so basically, the students have to be enthusiastic in order to have the teachers in the classroom. Now, when I was in school in River G, most of my classes sometimes would end up being the only female in the class from elementary school. Sometimes would be two. I think by fourth grade we were like two or three, and then before that year could end, the other girl dropped out. She was impregnated by a teacher, and so sixth grade I was the only girl in the class. The other girls stopped going to school. Seventh grade we were two. The other one got married. So eighth grade, so it persisted in River G. Um, Even when I left and went to Kipamas, in my class were probably like 5 girls or 6 girls, but then they kept dropping. So the issue of women education in the county is a serious problem in the whole of Southeast. I don't know about now, but 2013 when I visited River G, we went to Tuajekle High School, and I went in a class, with the girls. Tried to talk to them, but most of them were shy. They were bending their faces down, and I was almost sharing tears. I'm like, I thought of my own days in school, and now at least there were a few in the class, but nobody was saying anything. And you were there when I went to address the Ragusu General Assembly in Monrovia when I left from here in my capacity as Robert E. County Association president. The girls never asked questions.
They would never.
They were only the boys that were talking. I'm like, okay, so this really looked like a suppression. Because it boils down to the same thing I was saying. These girls are being intimidated, and because of that, they cannot say anything. Because they already like blackmail. If you do this, I'm gonna tell you who your boyfriend was. But these are simple things. These are nonsense. Because the boyfriend issue got nothing to do with what a person learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Or what a person can do.
Don't want
So
social life has
got
nothing to do with politics.
It got nothing. It got no relationship.
Nothing.
So the girls need to understand that these are simple things nobody can blackmail you about. Woman was made for men and man for woman. So how do you get married if you cannot figure out who the person is? And if they are not good, you dump them. What a big deal. So these are nothing that you can blackmail, the girls about and make them to be shy.
One of them made a remark on Facebook. I know something about you. If you say anything again, I will express myself on Facebook. I was like, wow, who cares about what you want to say? Go ahead. Whatever you want to say, say it.
So we need to start telling these girls that those kind of threats are empty threats. They can do what they can do as female. They can prove their talents. And if somebody bring the issue up, you tell them what you got done because we're nothing. We gotta make the girls to start talking.
Okay, so let's take a few of our Facebook comments, and then we will take 4. We'll take 2 or 3 contributions. So our Facebook comments, let me review. So we have Otavius Woluto. Otavius Woluto is in the US. I appreciate the two of you. We have Prince Fopo. Prince Fopo says, Sister Gertrude T.L. Williams, I am so excited about you every day, and I know the right time will come one day for you. So this is Prince Fopo. So we have Lavosha Winnie and following this evening from me. We have Samuel Wa and following. We have Christian Political Poker and following. We have Christian Serial and we say my powerful president. We have Sia J Tanapoli and inclusive following ladies. We have Serial Yompon. Good evening, family. We have Marianne had okay. So let's view comments. So we have Martine Kuruma. Hope Reward you will learn to accept women leadership. We have okay, just give me 1 minute. We have Martine Kuruma, lack of women representation. Lack of women representation is based on traditional broad practice. Our people have to learn and accept that they send us to school and we need to be part of decision making. We have Lavosha Win. have to do more teaching in classroom, churches, and community, be as it may be. How can you reconcile the refugee situations to that of the national level, specifically in the legislatures, where there was a 30% proposal for women representation? Sadly, that legislation did not pass on the female first president. So these are few comments from our follower on Facebook. These are few comments from our follower on Facebook. So I would like to take call, maybe 2 calls to get the view of our listener. Then we can ask the 2 of you for your concluding statement. Yeah. Okay. Just hold on 1 minute. Okay, so we try to, it's not working out. So, Madam President, another question for the 2 of you before you can make your closing statement, before we are going 1 hour now. What is the way forward? What can we do as a country, knowing the importance of women participation? What is forward? How can we change the traditional notion of women being stigmatized in some other way? What can we do as a people?
Okay, so get to do the conclusion.
Before you come in, let me take the call and listen to what.
All right.
Hello, Zeze Dumuya, you are live on our broadcast. You can make your
Thank you
contribution.
all so much, Raf. I appreciate it a lot.
Okay.
Yes, say Najoy from Wamidia. I want to the 2 speakers. They have said it all. I think there are major things that are affecting women representation in, like, let me say,
Okay, please hold on small. Can you hear him?
Yeah, but
Madam President,
you can restate what he's saying.
can you hear him? I want to make. I want to hear him.
I'm hearing him.
Okay.
I'm hearing him
Okay,
live.
continue. Yeah.
Okay.
You can be loud, be loud, audible small.
Okay. So there are many things that are affecting women representation in Liberia.
Okay.
Yeah, as a whole. And you see, when it comes to Liberia politics, I listen to the lady who spoke about difficulties that she faced during the campaign process.
Yes.
In Ruaji.
Yes.
So, Liberia politics have been driven to something that have to do with like tradition, ethnicity,
yes,
and somehow religion.
Okay.
So it is unfortunate that these days in Liberia, people don't really grade people by their representation. What can serve the people? By the end of the day, they might say she's a lady. She's just a lady. And people just downplay these brilliant people with these kind of mere statements that she's just a lady.
Sure.
And sometimes they even take it to a traditional level. There are some places that women don't go. Let's forget about tradition somehow, some way. So now there are difficulties that people are facing within the counties. What's the interference of tradition that have been able to improve the life of these people?
Nothing.
But we just have certain group of people that want to use tradition and have their weaknesses So it's very sad. I think it's about time that people should be all the
So this means that politicians the military advantage of these traditional issues so because they are potential female candidate in the race and they feel that the only way they can win from is to use the traditional means. So thank you for your contribution and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Okay. So let's take Mr. To. Mr. To is calling us from the US. Mr. Joseph To is calling to make a contribution. Then we can. Okay, let's take June here. Yeah, hello, Mr. Hinen. You are live. Hello? Okay. Hello, Mr. To, you are live on the Refugee Citizen Dialogue Forum. Hello, Mr. To? Hello? Hello? Hello, Mr. Hinen? Well, we cannot get it. How are we finding it difficult?
You hear me?
Yeah, Mr. To, you are live. We can hear you. What's your contribution on the show tonight?
Yeah.
Women participate. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Hinen. This is Mr. To.
Yes, Mr. To, go on. Yes.
This is Mr. Can you hear me?
Mr. To, we are hearing you.
Right? Yeah, Mr. To, you are now. We can hear you. Oh, okay. Before, yeah, okay, I want to make a statement, but first of all, I want to send a question to yeah, Mr. To, go on.
I see. I find it difficult.
Is this a network problem? Where is Ma?
So.
Ma is absent?
Yeah, I think it has so you can continue with the question, what can we do as a county to find a solution to this problem? Hello?
So I just feel like we need more education.
Yeah.
Yes, you are live. You are live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to all.
Okay, please be audible. Yes.
And those in the US, I think it's good afternoon.
Evening.
Okay. Yes, I think that a couple of hours ago on
Please call your name. Please call your name before you. Okay. Go on, sir.
You said what a name?
Joey.
You said a name.
Son of Producer.
Yes.
The name, please.
Jones.
Yeah, because I didn't hear the name.
Okay. Yeah, you can go on, sir.
Okay. Yeah, what I was just saying, I said a couple of hours ago we were like exchanging views on your Facebook page this afternoon. And I just want to maintain and repeat what I stated like maybe I would say tradition, maybe 1% contribution to women's denial in political leadership, or not at all. One of them. So,
But the main thing is the confidence among themselves. The self-confidence of women is lacking. Okay, because in order for you to be a leader or to win a contest, you have to have self-confidence. Okay, and the second, I want to restrict it to River G. Because all my elections, all the elections that took place since 2000, I've had everything.
Yeah, you have been a very active participant in River G politics. So
I've never put it outside of River G.
Yeah.
And so, but the confidence and the support amongst them are lacking.
Okay.
In fact, in River G, women hate each other than men in political activities.
Really?
You are right.
The example
because it's men that making them to do it.
You are right. It coming from the male. It coming from the male. That's why it just.
Yes, you can go on. Yeah, we are listening to you. Short time. So yeah.
Regina Situ participated in 2005. And what happens among the women is almost like theory. Who is she? Woman, or you could hear it from there in 2005. And we
exactly.
to see women, selling as campaign treasurer, as campaign spokespersons for men contenders.
Yes, but you cannot.
Regina was the least person in the race. So after 2005 election, she has never at any point in time gotten involved in politics. In fact. So what she did, she joined into the NGO sector. Regina has never participated in politics. Perhaps in secret, but like the way she did. Because she tested the unity, perhaps it was a way of testing the women's unity.
Yeah.
Following Regina, I think the lady whether that she the one participated in 2011, get to or we.
You are right. You are right.
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing is they made you want to be, so they will let you test your unity. Because the tradition, there is no law that says a woman cannot be represented.
Cannot be.
So that the strategies that will discourage you, that will frighten you. Okay. For God's sake, I mean, during voting day, no country devil can go to the voting.
It's one question to one ballot. Yeah.
Okay. Country devil can come outside to go to the polling center or prison. That's one thing. So the women to accept that perception, that societal norm in our country to say and say a woman maybe is not acceptable. So they try to accept that practice, which is not which is globally.
Jones, you hearing me? Jones, you hearing me? Jones, I want to eject in. It's why you're talking about. It's the same old issue that we're speaking about. Confidentiality. I mean, self confidence in yourself as a woman. That I will do it for this woman. I will vote for this woman. But in as much as the men go there and tell them that if you not vote for this man, you will never be my wife. They will definitely divide their vote to that man. Yeah.
Okay. So you can conclude.
Now, in fact, Ralph, as I speak to you, like for example, my boss lady.
Yeah, Fina Bono. She donated 2 motorbikes yesterday, and we highlighted that on our show yesterday, and we appreciate her. She has been so much magnanimous to our people.
Yeah, on the basis of just rumor. So women they make it look like it was forbidden for somebody, for any library coming from other part of the country to contest an election in River G.
Yeah.
So the all were not around here that will not happen. Stranger cannot go and be senator in Akade where even as Fina, and she almost like swear that I don't have to be senator to help our
people.
Where I am a senator, you will help me a lot. So I'm there to get that. As I speak to you, just few I think 4 days ago, a woman, they just again gather women under the canopy of peace and reconciliation. Okay, we agree. Following that, it didn't take 10 minutes. She said, "Well, I want you women to help us my ball lady because he's seeking re-election for 2023." Not considering women's participation. Okay. I was saying that they're taking the lead on the contrary, and they want to participate. So it's difficult for them to really win. Okay. Thanks so much, brother, for your contribution. We appreciate. I think they are listening. We will see what they have to say about it. And unity is the key. We hope to get you. You told us that you are going to appear on our show upon your return from the country. So we're hoping to have you. No problem. I'll be available. I'm here in Monrovia. Okay. All right. So let's take Mr. To quickly, then we can conclude with the show. Mr. To have a question. So that's disunity. I think the caller talk about disunity. Okay.
So can we come in with a disunity or his own now?
Yeah, Mr. To. Hello, Mr. To. Yeah, Mr. Tu, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, yeah, you are live, hearing you.
Okay.
What's your question? Yeah.
Well, okay, hold on.
Can we come in with a disunity?
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, okay. What I was trying to say, when President Wilson started her statement, she gave 3 groups, explanation concerning the situation we are talking about. But she restricted her statement mostly to men. So before I made my comment, my question was to her that during her amendment as president, was she fully supported by only women? Okay. So make your comment. You take just a minute, and then we can leave you to respond to your question. Yes. The only thing I'm concerned about in the whole situation is there's no unity among the citizens. That's one aspect. Then secondly, among the women themselves, there's no unity. Because when she was president, not all the women in America supported her. Okay. They're going against each other. Then the third thing is, as we myself discussed one time before, the policy of our people at home using traditional means to make political decisions is wrong. We need to educate them to get rid of that. It's absolutely wrong. Both women and men are equally equal, and we are all educated equally. So it's better for a woman to be, she must be given that chance to lead, not because of her gender. Okay. That's my point. All right. Thank you so much for your attention.
So let me answer Mr.
Yes, so respond to that. We can have Madam William to respond to Juhina's comment.
Okay. So basically, the 3 groups I named were women. There are men I said there are men that support you wholeheartedly, because they think you can do better. And this type of men, they are not supporting you because they want anything from you, but because they think you got the capability to make a change. So they give you their full support. There are other men, no matter what you do, because in their own mind, they are misogynistic. They think that woman cannot be their leader no matter what you do. So their minds are closed on that. You can't do anything to change it. That is the second group. The third group are the kind of men they want to support you, but they want you to be a ceremonious leader. So you sit in a car seat, they will be on the wheel driving the car. They make all the decisions, they tell you what to do, then you will be cool. Other than that, they will get away. On the line of whether women were supporting me or not, I enjoy the support of most women in refugee in the US. Now, I can say all the women or majority of them were supporting me until a few elements that are anti-women came in. And then what they did was to go through the other women that they could get hold of. So they got hold of these women to turn against me. Not that because they think the women could do better, but because they didn't want to be seen as fighting a female. So they prefer for it to be another female. You know how the devil can fool people? So they go underground and go to these women and try to change their minds. So that's exactly what happened. I brought in all the women. The first woman to serve our election commission in Rica was a female. I appointed her. She used to be very shy, but I encouraged her. In Minnesota, the leadership that day, I encouraged her. And she was like, I said, you can do it. And she came aboard. A lot of them came aboard. But when the guys got ready to get into them, it was something that I couldn't handle. So that's how we fell apart. But I knew there were good people and they could make a change, they could make better decisions. But in this case, majority of the women that you find taking other women is the men that do that underground and make these women to go against other women. So that's how I understood it, and I can say that for real.
Jones, can I come? According to Jones now. Can I come in to address Jones in the issue?
Yeah.
According to Jones now. Jones scratched a salient point. Disunity have been the hallmark all these years. And we have to do this as a conventional ideology as women to push the agenda of women. Women participation and women involvement in politics is a cardinal issue. A wide range of issues that we need to discuss in River G County. It will not be just a single woman. Yes, I may not call every one of their names that paving the way for them to come, other young people that kind of want to get in politics. Like Reginald Setu that came in the process, Jagaju Domo Williams, Nikki Ja, Cecilia Slobber, Josephine Wisse, Reginald Nyepan, Dennis Sokan, and to name them, Gertrude Jawi Wilson, Esther Dixon. These are women that paving the way for other women to come. Today we are being suppressed in River G County. She's a woman. She can never be. Their daughters, when I go other places, I'll tell them, I say, one day, one of your daughters will come and they will want the same position. You will be reminded that Jagaju came here and you say XYZ things about her, that she's a woman. She can never be, because she can go places where male will go when it comes to our culture. So these are things I want you to understand. And the time is coming gradually, because we have to do things. Gender ministry coordinators in the various counties got a lot to do. But some of them, they are not working in line with women leadership to see reason that women will participate in politics. And tell them the functions of a lawmaker, let them know their functions, and then they go in the process. So a whole lot need to be done by gender coordinators in the various counties, especially for River G, where we specify other things. Forget about self-interest, forget about your uncle, your nephew is contesting. When one is a woman, you push the agenda of a woman. That's why I gave credence to Fina Bono in other places. That is, she's a president for Coalition of Political Parties Women in Liberia, where I served in the Political Affairs Department. The late Honorable Nuoska was the vice president for Political Affairs, and we're members, full president, I will honor her. We used to speak on the issues affecting women on radio, and she never thought of she coming from a Congress for Democratic Change or a coalition for Democratic Change. She will always say it's about women. A woman win, we win. Because look in the upper house, how many women are there? If you look in the lower house, how many women are there? So why is it that it's a different ball game when it comes to River G County? Bapuru just elected a female, though there was confusion, but it's clear. She winning the elections. She's not different than any other person. And somebody was talking about, and they want to boast of education. Nobody is boasting of education. The woman was a, co-boat seller, fast food seller. And by his grace, she make the difference. Your relationship with the women. So the relationship, we have to be united. Unity is the only thing, but this unity can never help us. Thank you, Jones.
Okay, I think Madam William, we're about to come to the end. We will take a concluding statement from the two of you, then we can come to an end of this discussion. For tonight, it's wonderful to have two of you. Madam Wilson.
Madam Mamba, sir.
Yeah, you serve as the first president. Yeah, you serve as the first president of the Refugee Association in the U.S., first female president. And I think the first tangible project in the county since the inception of the Refugee Association was under your administration, ongoing. I beg you to conclude what infused you as president for which you decided to take that direction such in a county. We want you to just use one right to kill the two. So you can just elaborate and then give your concluding statement.
Thank you very much. By nature, I'm somebody who likes results. So if I tell you I want to be the sweeper, I want to make sure that I sweep. And then when you come, you see the effect of my work. So I didn't want to be Refugee County Association president just to put it on my resume. But before I even became president, there were other projects like the student scholarship when I was in a position as a scholarship committee chairperson. So we were on it, giving people scholarship at the midwifery, we get a stipend at the nursing school and all that. But then we needed to look at a bigger picture. Refugee County was founded, association was founded in 2001. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, over 10 years. There was no tangible project. You can give somebody money today and they tell you, say, well, you didn't give me money. Or even you gave the paper. Once somebody ate the money, they forget. But I felt like something like a library, somebody will look at it 10 years from now. So when we went to Minnesota and the National Assembly convened and they authorized me to start a library project, I was happy. That was the beginning of the project. And we did everything possible for the project to go on a roof level before our tenure came to end. And I enjoyed the support. People really supported me. Refugee citizens in the U.S., they really supported me. Even people back home, to the point that people wire $1,500 from Monrovia to the U.S. in my account just for me to be successful. So I received a lot of money for me to do the work. And I'm glad that we're able to at least, but like I was telling Mr. Toe, all these people we brought on board that believe in us, same kind of men that can't stand women leadership, they came and corrupted some people's minds. For example, somebody who is in executive position, they know you show them this is the land deed, we bought the land for the library, they know that. Then the same guy will go to this woman and tell them that's a lie, nobody bought land. And you believe the person over me? This is the same problem we're talking about. That when you see women not united, it's not because women don't like each other. It's because the men go through this, some of the women that probably cannot really, stand up for themselves and corrupt their minds against other potential women so that there will be no success. So, but as time goes by, we will make sure whatever position we're in, we will work in the interest of the association to make sure that everything is conclusive. Okay, and my closing statement.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rob, I want to ask question.
Well, man, we don't have much time now. We
You
are going
delay,
1
you delay.
hour,
I must
30
say, I mean,
minutes.
I'm not
You can
net free. I'm
Okay.
sleepy.
next time
I'm
you
not
ask the
net
question.
free.
Okay. Okay,
Almost
so
11
listen.
Yes.
o'clock.
Okay, so in conclusion, how do we move forward with this women participation? What I
Yes.
think we should do is one, education. And we can do
Yeah.
that like show like this, or we just do one-on-one show live on River G Meeting Place because we got a lot of our young people there. If the young people can take the message to their people, they will do that. There are other young people that are in leadership, like Jules was saying. These are popular people. They will be able to relay the message if they understand fully where we stand as women. Another thing I want for them to do in the county, if people are running, organize a debate of the young people. If you
Sure.
cannot hear from somebody, how do you know what they can do? You can't get right somebody up because they are women. Put them in a debate. Let us debate with these men and tell the Robogi people
Exactly.
what they can do. So if from the
Many
debate,
men
you
will
know
run
who is
away. Oh.
qualified. Or you say, no, my boss man don't like to talk. What being a leader is having the guts to be outspoken.
Yeah.
You can't be a leader, you can't speak or you can't convince anybody. Then how you expect a counter to be developed? So it's important being outspoken, and one of the qualities of being a leader. So organize debate from the young people, and then you evaluate people that will be fitting for the position. We cannot recycle politicians. I see some people, they vote them out and they come back again and running. Are you out of human resources? I don't think we should be doing that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Madam President. Madam Williams, your parting statement. We lost Madam Williams. Probably she will join us again. Ma, do you have a comment while we wait, Madam Williams, to
Maybe you can
conclude?
ask this question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can ask a question.
Somebody just sent me a text on the messenger page.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like the person following the conversation tonight. So the person was like asking, and said, well, one of the reasons that the women in River G are not succeeding in the political arena is that they are planning. They don't have strategic people to run their campaign in the county. So I don't know how true it is. So I want to also to speak in terms of our campaign team. Who are those that she was using
Oh,
to
okay.
run the campaign for her? Yeah.
Well, when she comes, she will answer for herself. But when I ran my campaign, I ran my own campaign. I probably had somebody who said they were going to run my campaign, but they were not doing good enough. So I took on my own campaign. I wrote, I spoke, and did everything I could do to win the elections. So even there was no opposition. The second time I ran, there was no opposition, but the election was still challenging because they had yes or no. Whether you want me or you don't want me, it was like facing somebody. So if the no were more than the yes, they would have had interim government. That's how ridiculous they're going to be. So you have to stand up for yourself to be successful. So women in River G, it's no time to bang your head down when you're talking to somebody. You need to face them, look in their faces, and tell them what you can do.
Okay. We want to say thanks to all of you. We want to say thanks to Madam Getchu Domo Williams. We want to say thanks to Madam Alice Momba Wilson
Wilson Mamba.
For accepting invitation here on the land and then sharing with us their experience in the political setting of our country, women participation. So we would like to have you again on the show as times go on. We want to say thank you, thank for your participation, and thank for your contribution.
Thank you so much. God bless.
Okay.